There's something about wanting snacks but not really having those snacks at home, like hot Cheetos. And the thing is, I will suffer because I will not go out of my way to go hot Cheetos. I could easily go to the store and grab some, but I won't crave it then, and it'll sit on the counter. And it's not about self control, it's just I generally don't crave like certain foods and just eating in general right now because I don't know, I think my something's flaring up where my appetite's like meh, I just need to eat because I'm hungry, not because I'm actually craving anything. But to just eat chips because I can and I want to and I like to, it's like, no, I won't go to the store. I'll suffer, you know? But the choice is the choice. If you know, you know. It's so exhausting now that I'm so aware of it that talking to my mom or like my dad, it's just like exhausting. It feels like, and for me too, it's like a trigger. So I'm just like, I'm trying to understand because that's the worst part about me is like, I try to get to the source. Like I'm trying to understand. It doesn't matter how simple it is, how light it is. I'm always trying to find out like the fullest details, like, you know, to a T, that when I'm not getting it, I'm like, you know, I'm trying to unravel like a puzzle, but it's like, who cares? Who cares? Why do you care so much? You know, I'm asking myself. And so I tend to just leave the conversation or whatever. But to sum it up, my mom was like, let's go to LA. And I was like, okay. And with someone else. But they live like way from us, and so we live pretty far too from LA, like I'd say 2+ hours with traffic, you know. We were making details and I was like getting them, and at one point I was like, okay, like how about, okay, I'll take you to their house, you guys can start your journey to LA because they live like an hour or less than, not even, like 40 minutes tops, and then I'll meet you later with my partner, you know, because I want to hang out with them too. And then all of a sudden my mom was like, she basically does this whole jibber jabber while being like, oh, but it would just be nice if it was just us, but like, you know, in Korean or whatever. I was like, what? Well, I was just saying, like, it's never just us three. And I was like, there's a reason for that. Like, you never want to hang out in general. So it's just really funny. My mom's just like, she's like, I don't know how to drive if I go to LA, blah, blah, blah. Like, making excuses and trying to make me feel bad. And I was like, I'm going with my partner because my partner makes me feel good. I was just like, bro, all of a sudden you want to hang out? Like, you want to hang out when we go to LA? Like, there's like no way that won't start an argument. I already know. That's why I don't want to go. Because I was like, no, as much as I want to hang out, I'm always that person that wants to hang out. I'm always the person reaching out. So all of a sudden it's like, oh, but I wanted it to just be us. It's like, girl, you had probably 10 years to do that. And you still chose not to do that. So, you know, I hope the wrong people don't watch this. But it's just like, it's funny. It's funny that all of a sudden it's like, oh, it would have been nice if it was just us. Like, it's always just been us. You just never took initiative, you know? Like, it's so funny that we're in that stage of life and
realizing stuff, and everyone around me, we're all just like realizing things.
And learning to not care. We'll see, because, you know, I like going to LA. I love LA. It has nothing to do with LA. It has everything to do with where I live now, where I'm like, yeah, this shit sucks. And having to deal with traffic and stuff like that. It's like, oh, LA traffic, it has traffic on its own. Yeah, but it's not like going away from LA where traffic's better. Like, traffic's just as bad, if not worse. I don't know, is this a rant? I'm sure. No, there are people going through this same thing, and it's just like, aren't you tired? Like, people are halfway into their life and still have yet to learn, and it's like, how am I a third of your age and like making moves. This is crazy. I say that as I don't have a job, but you know, I digress. How's my skin looking? Horrible. I don't really eat in my bedroom. Ever since I took the desk out, I don't have a desk in here anymore, and I haven't eaten in my room for a long time. But I just started to, like, directly on my bed. I never did this in my youth either. Like, let me just say something real fast. And, like, doing it, it feels so therapeutic. Like, I feel so much at peace. Like, I feel like I'm having fun doing it. I don't know. Maybe I'm, like, too depressed or something, but there's something about, like, putting a towel down, just eating on the bed, comfort. And I think it's because my partner kind of introduced me to this, because I was like, okay, like, shouldn't we just eat at the table? Isn't it cleaner? And it's like, that's what my parents would always say, you know, like. But honestly, it's kind of sweet doing this. It's like a date with myself, and I'm at peace. I'm in my bedroom, doors are closed, like, we got the light shining through the blinds. I'm about to put on a movie. The movie I started is called Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, and I knew about this movie. I never watched it. I thought I watched it for film school, or not film school, for in the film course. It does not sound familiar at all. Like, watching it, I'm like, I don't remember any of this. And I did not know it was directed by Martin Scorsese. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking and eat. Hot. Oh my gosh, the bowl is so freaking hot. Wow. Snack time. I know it says pretz, but it doesn't really taste like a pretzel. It just tastes like a sweet little breadstick. I'm like waiting for Chris Christopherson to show up in the movie. Where is he? I was like, does she end up with Harvey Keitel? I was like, am I watching the wrong movie? Because I know Chris Christopherson's in this movie or something, in a diner, and he's really young. Where is he? Oh. No way, he's 29. 27, he's my age? Wow, it's crazy how old people look back then. Is it because there was no really skincare back then? Look at this guy. He's freaking cheesing. Can I zoom in further? No. Excuse me? Harvey Keitel kind of freaks me out. Has he had something happen to him in Hollywood? Has he been exposed to something? Has he been in any scandals? I know he's been in movies where his opposing co-star has been really, really young. But has there been any type of Harvey Weinstein kind of drama with him? I gotta look this up because he gives me like abusive vibes. Let me Google it. Harvey Keitel. Harvey Keitel scandal. No issues like that. No issues. He's clean. He's a tough guy though. So. Oh, I thought I said something. Okay, maybe his character just gave me abusive vibes because in this movie he is abusive. He's a good actor then. Oh hell no! She said hell no. I'm not going through this again. Oh my god, they literally all melted together. Bruh. Oh my gosh, he came out. Wow, look, he looks, oh my god. He's like, hell yeah, brother. Wow. This is like our own waitress. Our 70s waitress. Ugh. She's like crying serving. I'm like, vibes. Well, oh my goodness, I feel like I literally have ADHD because, or is it like when you look at something, when you already have planned something and you're gonna do it and then you look at something and then you start doing that, is that ADHD or is that just like low attention, like, which is like a deficit, which is basically ADHD? What is that? I was like literally about to do this and I'm like, wait, why don't I just prep my food first, have that baking or cooking, and then work on this? I thought I was recording the whole time. I was washing dishes. Anyways, I was gonna ask, is not getting a dishwasher like an immigrant thing? I feel like immigrants are like avoiding buying things that make their life more efficient. I like so long you can do dishes by hand. And it's like, before anyone says it's a poor people thing that chooses not to get dishwashers, no, it's fucking not. Stop lying, okay? Because the money and time you would spend, for some people I believe it, but a lot of people I don't. Let's put the chips here, and I added some lime to it. I have my little jalapeno, I had some guac, and then, which has nothing crazy, it's just salt and lime juice, and then salsa that I made. I'm sorry, there's just nothing like a full chip. If you're doing like Skimptown, I don't want nothing to do with it. I'm an all toppings kind of girl. Like, I really am. Like, there's no substitutions with me. Unless it's like something I'm unfamiliar with or it's like too exotic for my taste, then, you know, I'm all game for it. You know, then make your own beans and don't put any salt in them. It's like people think it's like, I'm so sorry. I was literally talking in my head, starting the conversation, and I was like bringing it out in person. But what I was saying in my head was like, when people talk about Mexican food, not in general, but sometimes they'll kind of say it's like an unhealthy form of eating. And I think all they think about is like the oil that's involved in cooking Mexican food, which in my opinion, like, if you're really against like seed oils, maybe. But with the chips, you can bake them. You don't have to fry them. You know how many veggies are used in Mexican food? And you know how much protein is in Mexican food? That's the part. I think it's really funny how I am so firm on the belief that I will not have a relationship with my parents when I leave, which is like when I move out, which is not anytime soon. So I'm, you know, I'm paying for it with my mental health, which is like fine because no rent. But I always find myself trying to like, you know, bond with my mom in a way, because if anything, I bond with my mom more than my dad, for sure. But that's also because my dad's always working. And then today I was like, okay, Mom, we want to go thrift shopping? Like, because that's like the one thing I feel like we've bonded over, which is weird. Like, we don't enjoy each other's, like, we don't have like the same taste on things. But for sure, the activity, just like the act of doing and the act of looking, you know, we're killing two birds with one stone kind of thing. But today she was like, you know, it wasn't like disgust, like her tone, it was just like she could care less. She's like, they don't sell anything good, anything nowadays. And it's like, the whole point of thrifting or going to the Goodwill and all that bullshit is to like do the search yourself. Like, there's nothing, of course, like Goodwill's whole inventory is trash. Like, most people drop off trash and then they sell trash for a huge price. But it's like, if you go on the days where it's like $1.99 for like certain things, it's like really worth it. But today she was just like essentially being like, no. And I was like, I was feeling beat up about it, because I was like, when do you say, if anything, you're the one asking me, like, when have I ever said, I've said no to her a few times, but it's because like, I'm not trying to do like, I'm not trying to go to Costco and then do this and then do that, because Costco's the worst, no offense. Unless it's like closing time, I'm not going to Costco. The fact that she was just like, and I was like, you know what? And I was feeling bad because I was like, oh, we could stop by, I was in my mind, I'm like, we could stop by Aldi, because I really like Aldi in the store, but it's kind of far, it's like a good 15 minutes away from me, but it's on the way to the Goodwill. So I was like, okay, like, you know, I could do that because I really like going to Aldi, and it's closing time, which is even more perfect, because for some reason I get really overwhelmed when it's like super duper early, or like even in the daytime, because it's just everyone's out at the time. But at nighttime, when the markets are about to close like an hour or 2 hours before, people are like way more chill about it. So that's why I like going to the stores then. I was like feeling bad, and I was like, you know what? I was like, fuck it, we ball. Like, I'm going. I don't know if it's an anxiety thing, but it is a thing where it's like I reluctantly stay home and feel bad about it. And it's like, now it's like redirecting, where it's like, no, you said you wanted to go. There's things you actually want to buy. So, you know, why don't we just go? So here we are. I don't know who was on shift today, but Aldi looks crazy. Whoever was on stocking duty clearly said I quit today, because nothing's here. Wait, what? What? So they were completely out of the tomatillos, which is what I came here for. Like, out. Like, oh, my leg. Like, there was no box, nothing. It was just like empty. Imagine I didn't go to Goodwill and I came straight to Aldi. Bruh, what a waste of my time. Damn, this shit look bad. What the hell? This is ghetto. The ghetto, girl. Oof, the ghetto.